Hi, Capricorn. This is your reading for the week of March 9th, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it will not be for every Capricorn. So the first thing that I saw as I was working with your cards, when I was shuffling, was I saw you with a tape measure, and you're measuring along the floor, but you have a soft tape measure. It's not one of the professional ones that is metal and therefore is easy to manage and more accurate. You're trying to measure things in your home with something that would be like a one of those pliable fabric tape measures. And so it gets muddled and it gets buckly and you're not really getting an accurate measurement. But truth is, it doesn't really matter. Because the thing is, what you're being told here is, don't worry so much about measuring things from a logical perspective. What I heard was, the earth isn't flat, it's round. So even if you had the professional tape measure, it's not enough, and it's not really what needs to be looked at. The fact that they're saying the earth is round is saying to me, you're looking at things kind of one-dimensional like this. You're looking at things flat, and what you're being told, can you step back and look at the global situation? And when I say global situation, I'm not talking about the earth and the mess it's in right now. I'm talking about whatever situation you're in that you're considering or that's on your mind right now. Look at the global aspect of it. What are all the elements of it? Because this is a place where your logical mind may not serve you. It may serve you a little bit, but only if you take it into the context of what the global picture is. So let me explain what they're giving me as an image for that. It's not that measuring isn't good. Measuring is great. However, if you measure this much and it's like, oh, that's perfect, the couch will fit there. But by having the couch there, you haven't taken into account the fact that now you need to move the lamp and you've got no light in that corner. So what you're being asked to do is, take your measurements. Take your measurements, absolutely. It's not don't use your logical brain. Take your measurements, look at whatever is going on factually for you in a situation, but then step back and get a feel for it. Because often what you'll find, Capricorn, is behind somebody's actions that look one way, there's a very different motivation. And if you were to look at the motivation rather than the act itself, you might have a very different way of approaching it. It might mean that you're less rigid or, I don't want to say positional, but it might mean that you're more. It might mean that looking at somebody's motivation now, this thing that looked innocent really wasn't, and now it's time for you to factor that into the big picture of what's going on. Likewise, you can expect that something has been done. You can figure that logically, if this and this and this, well, then that, well, they must have known, and therefore they were intending something bad. Whereas it might just simply be completely different. And if you knew all of the facts around a situation, you'd be able to be more compassionate about how you dealt with that particular situation because you'd be less defended. Okay, so that's just a very, very brief example. The cards that you're getting, loss or liberation, is a very, very important card because as we're changing right now, and we're all changing so dramatically, it can be really challenging to see parts of ourselves and parts of our operating systems, how we functioned before. We can get kind of sentimental about them, almost romanticize a particular time, look back over it and go, if only. But the reality is now you can do that, or you can look at the flip side of it and you can say, where has this change in situation, change in attitude, change in relationship, how has it set me free? And Spirit is saying, look at freedom not just in terms of activity, free in terms of obligation, but what belief system have you let go of that now sets you free to understand emotion in a different way, to build relationship in a different way? What freedom do you have now to let what part of yourself out? Maybe it's the freedom to be outspoken. Maybe it's the freedom to be unapologetic. Maybe it's the freedom to be less responsible for somebody or something. Maybe it's the freedom to finally say, ooh, what do I really want? It can be many different things depending upon your situation. So what you're being told, however, is also really important right now because of this whole, I'm seeing the measuring tape and all of this stuff. The feeling that I'm getting is there is something going on that you're, for the part of the collective I'm reading for, there is something going on that you're trying to rejig or factor. You're trying to figure it out. And what you're being told is, besides the sense of the world is not flat, look at the horizon, look at the global picture of what's going on and the different elements, you're being told to keep a calm focus on it. Don't let, this is important, to stay in the position of the observer in this stepping back, looking globally. Because in that position of observer, you're not just seeing things, you're also able to feel what's going on with the nuances. And this is important for you, Capricorn. You're being told, just calm down, one thing at a time, like don't rush things. Take things slowly. Allow yourself to see and feel what's going on before you decide how you want to structure your life along perhaps some new lines. I'm going to leave you with that, my very dear Capricorns, and you take care.